What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another day at VIP Mechanics Garage. So today we're working on a 1999 RMK 700. We're back starting to do the services on the snowmobiles. It's that time of year again. So we got this one in for a general service, but after a little bit of an inspection, it needs a lot more work than that. Couple of things we got to do on this guy is the steering pitman arms. Both of the arms are super loose, so the bolts are all rattling around. So we're going to take those out. We're going to inspect them, make sure the bushings aren't totally blown out of them, see if they don't need some more parts. We'll get new bushings if we do, bolt those back in. We got a front shock that needs replacing, it's blown out. We got a rear skid shock that needs replacing, sliders that need replacing. There's 10 idler bearings that need to be replaced in the rear skid as well. So we're going to drop the rear skid out. The other thing that it needs is the clutch service. So we're going to service the secondary clutch. Primary clutch is pretty much good to go. So we're going to disassemble the secondary clutch. We'll take you guys through that one. Basically clean it, give it a service, and reassemble. We'll go through the carburetors, give them a little cleanup as well. Get it ready for the season. And we'll do the chain case oil as well, adjust the chain. And then the other thing that was blown out was the front left motor mount, rubber motor mount is blown out, and the torque stop. So the torque stopper is blown out and probably in the bottom of the bulkhead somewhere under the engine. We'll find it. And hopefully it just rattled out. We can put it back in, put a new jam nut on it, and it'll be okay. If it's broken, well, it's broken. But when those torque stops go, they usually fall out and then they take engine mounts out. So that's generally the first sign of a broken engine mount is probably the torque stopper is missing, or if your torque stopper is missing and you've been lucky enough to not blow a motor mount yet, better get that torque stop in quick, because that really puts less of a load on those motor mounts when that's in there. So that's the initial work we're gonna do. So we're gonna drop the skid here. We'll take you guys through that. And you can watch us do that on video. We're going to do it just with the overhead hoist. So we're just going to lift up the back end. We're going to drop the skid bolts, and I'm just going to pull the skid out, just out to the side with the back way up in the air. Now, word of advice, to take these skids out, you want the back tunnel as high as you can get it, basically. And the skid will come out really nice and easy. Ideally, I like to tip these sleds on their side and then swing the track way out and pull the skid out that way. It's the easiest way to take these skids out. Any of the extra 10s, extra 12s, these extra lights, I find it the easiest way. But when you tip it on its side, you end up usually dumping a bit of gas out of the carburetors and whatnot, and you kind of make a stinky mess. So it's just about as easy to do it with the overhead cable, and I'll take you through it. All right, here we go. We got the rear skid out. That took about, 4 minutes maybe. Pretty simple. 4 bolts in the skid, jack her up, pull it out. You gotta push the track down a little bit as you pull out the front part of the skid. Just work it out sideways. No need to loosen the rear bogies or the track tension or anything like that. Just jack it up, bang. So, just gonna do a general overall inspection of the skid. We're gonna remove the idlers that need new bearings. And I was kind of, what I generally do up in the front is I push the track up into the bulkhead to free it from the drive shaft cogs. And then I can spin the drive shaft and I can feel what those bearings are like in there. So those feel super smooth, and so they're fine, which is really nice. Chain case side one I'm not usually worried about because it's oiled by the chain case oil, but the speedometer side is usually the first one to go. And the first clue that it's gone or about to go is that your speedometer quits, because the bearing will go kind of out around and it'll blow that little key in there that's hooked to your speedometer. So if you lose your speedometer all of a sudden randomly and the cable's all connected up at the speedo, there's a good chance that that key broke in the drive shaft and your bearing's likely on its way out as well. So all the idlers, inner idlers, 6205s. So we will be doing 5 of those. 604s, 1 of those. So here we go. Snap ring, push her out, easy peasy. Trusty bearing pusher, goes right through the whole wheel, sits in the bearing, clears the whole wheel, boom. Bring her up. Get a hammer with a hammer, I guess, but it's easier to push them. And I just use a giant socket. I used to have a ball joint spacer to put on this side, but borrowed that to my buddy. It should work. Boom. Clean that out. Yuck. Oh. Make sure that snap ring's nice and clean, or it will not go back into the groove very nicely. There's no replacement for a good set of snap ring pliers. Wow. So I always set them in and then I give them a little press and a push and a pound. just to make sure they're seated. You always want to make sure that snap ring is in the groove. There we go, that one's good. Woo-wee! All right, guys, so update on the rear skid here. We got the sliders on, just pounded them on with the rubber mallet. You had to drill new holes in the front here because they didn't quite line up. So new holes, countersunk bolts in, and all new bearings where we needed them. Everything's bolted back down, good, tight. We're gonna give it a quick shot of grease everywhere while it's out, because it's a lot easier to do now than once it's in. And slap the skid in. We'll put it in the same way we removed it. Should go well. Shaft it way up just to get it in. So this goes. Of course, reversal. So back goes in first, then the front. All right, guys, so that does it for part 1 of the video, rear skid. So it's in, bearings are changed, and the sliders are all replaced. So gonna move on to part 2 of the video. Stick around. We're gonna get into the carburetors in this thing. We're gonna do the secondary clutch, do the chain case service, adjust the chain, and we got motor mounts to change and a front suspension shock. So other than that, we should be just moving along with it. So stick around, make sure you smash the like button, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And we'll see you next time.